evening and welcome to the 7 o'clock news here on CNC3. I'm Charlene Ramdani.
Good evening. Glad you can join us. I'm Samson Anton.
In the headlines tonight, the High Court asked to determine whether Barry Alfonso could leave prison to attend the funeral of his 11-year-old son. The acting police commissioner says former Minister Colin Partab can still be charged.
The National Security Minister says gang leaders want jobs in return for giving up weapons, but he maintains the government will not negotiate with them. Tonight, we introduce you to a triplet born on August 31st, 1962.
And in sports tonight, Paralympians prepare to shine in London. Top of the news tonight. The High Court is still hearing arguments to determine whether or not murder-accused Barry Alfonso will be allowed to attend his son's funeral. The hearing has been going on for several hours now. Alfonso, who is currently being held at the maximum security prison in Golden Grove, Arouca, is trying to attend the funeral of his 11-year-old son, Kareem Alfonso, who was fatally shot over the weekend. Alfonso, through his attorneys Gerald Ramdeen and Vernon Debidine, requested special permission to attend Kareem's funeral, but this was denied by prison's commissioner Martin Martinez. The funeral was scheduled to be held today at 1 o'clock at the Mukarapo Mosque of the Jamaat al-Muslimin, but was postponed due to Alfonso's request being denied. Alfonso's attorneys have now made an application to the High Court for a judicial review of the matter. In the request, Alfonso's attorneys say the decision of the prison's commissioner dated 20th August 2012 refusing the claimant permission to attend the funeral of his son, Kareem Alfonso, is a decision that is so unreasonable that no reasonable person could have come to such a determination. They also say that Alfonso and his son Kareem were both followers of Islam, and as Kareem's father, he is required to perform the last rites for his son in the form of janazah at the funeral according to Muslim rites. Police Commissioner Stephen Williams today defended his actions against criticisms of his response to the arrest of former minister in the Ministry of National Security, Colin Partab, following a confrontation with officers on Keith Street, Port of Spain on Sunday morning. We have more from Samuel McKnight.
Sturdy and steadfast in his response to criticisms about his visit to the Belmont police station on Sunday, after he was contacted by arrested former minister in the Ministry of National Security, Colin Partab, Police Commissioner Stephen Williams today defended his actions, saying he was the only one who could have responded and will do it again if necessary.
Same circumstances, same time, different individual, somebody in high office, same facts. It will be dealt with in the same way.
He also defended allegations that Partab had passed the regulation period to take a breathalyzer test before acceding following discussions with the commissioner. Tests confirmed the minister had 28 micrograms of alcohol in his system, which is way below the 35 micrograms maximum allotment. Commissioner Williams did, however, confirm that Partab can still be charged for refusing to take the breathalyzer test.
I advise the minister that he was being permitted to leave the station in light of the results. However, complete investigation would be conducted in relation to that matter, and the advice of the DPP will be sought.
Williams denied there was any political manipulations of the service.
Trinidad and Tobago by now should know political manipulation relating to Stephen Williams is not a possibility. Trinidad and Tobago should know that by now.
The acting commissioner says no breach occurred with Minister Partab using his cell phone after being arrested. Up to news time, the matter was still under review. For CNC3, I am Samuel McKnight.
And that's the story which takes us to the Your Vote question tonight. The question we're asking you to vote on tonight is, do you agree that the acting commissioner acted responsibly in the Colin Partab controversy? Text your response to the number 2623. If your response is yes, you're texting the letter Y, and if it's no, the letter N. We'll give you an update on the voting as we go along in tonight's newscast, the final vote at the very end. Minister of National Security Jack Warner has received a report on the second meeting of gang leaders and police officials. Mr. Warner says requests for jobs, among other things, were made, and in return there would be an end to gang violence. But he says there would be no negotiating with criminals. Chester Zambrano has the details.
The report is finally in. Following the now contentious meeting with over 40 persons, including gang leaders and some police officials, at St. Paul Street in Laventille last Wednesday, National Security Minister Jack Warner has now been briefed. He says a report was compiled by Chairman of the Office of Law Enforcement Policy, Keith Renew, who attended the meeting and said a number of requests were made and in return, persons in the community would put down their guns.
Of sustainable jobs, for a better understanding with the police, for attention to pay to their infrastructure. Those are the kinds of things they ask for.
At a news conference on Wednesday, Minister Warner said his government policy does not allow him to negotiate with criminals, and so the requests were denied.
We shall not negotiate. We shall not in any way sit down and say, of course, quid pro quo. We will not do that. And that's the end of the matter.
He also maintained that his description of the entire matter is truthful, and he is not afraid of any legal action which may be taken by Port of Spain Mayor Louis Leasing.
And who wants to go to litigation or to court or things and so on, that's okay.
The National Security Minister said many initiatives and social programs will be expanded in depressed communities to help residents, but without the involvement of gang leaders. For CNC3, I am Chester Zambrano.
To the crime front now. Central Police are investigating the discovery of a woman's body in Presal at around 7 o'clock this morning. The woman's body was found along Mission Road in Presal. Officers are asking for the public's help in identifying the woman, who appears to be in her late 20s to early 30s and was clad in a pink top, blue jeans, brown sandals, and she was wearing gold jewelry. She is of East Indian descent and around 5 feet 5 inches in height. At newstime, police were also at the scene of a murder in Cooperative Street, Spring Village, Valsayn East, following the killing of Don Budram, the brother of reputed hanged drug lord and mass murderer Dole Chedi. He's also known as Nankisun Budram. Meantime, police shot and killed a 30-year-old man identified as Sean Paul yesterday afternoon. Police say they were entering a marijuana field in the Toko Forest when Paul opened fire on them as they approached. He was shot several times by the officers and was pronounced dead at hospital. Police suspect arson in a fire which destroyed a business place in Palm East and left 8 people jobless. The fire occurred just after 3 o'clock this morning at a food hut owned by businessman Veeram Ragunanan. The fire occurred one day after thieves broke into the business place and made off with $4,000 in cash and other valuables. To prevent further thefts, the owner placed a pit bull outside the establishment and installed new pass locks. A few hours later, he received a call about the fire. Usha Ramuta, who operates a stall, says she suffered $150,000 in losses and believes the fire was deliberate.
Number 7 booth, that's Viram booth. That's day before yesterday, Monday night. And they were here up to 1 o'clock last night, securing back the place. And I don't know, maybe the person maybe come back and they couldn't get in. So the only solution to not getting in there, maybe is to burn down the place.
The owner of the place, Ragunanan, says the dog was not injured in the blaze and says his losses are mounting.
We cater for we have a big clientele because it's just these 2 places do food, breakfast, lunch, and we open until 8 at night. We cater for people Siparia, Pinal, they pass through here, they buy food and go. We have no enemies, none at all.
Well, we now continue with the news with Samson Nanton. Samson.
Thank you very much, Charlene. Before we go on, though, the question you're voting on tonight, we want to ask you once again, do you agree that the acting Commissioner of Police acted reasonably in the Colin Partap controversy? Text your response to the number 2623. If you want to vote yes, text Y. If you want to vote no, text N. We'll give you an update as we go along and the final result at the end of tonight's news. We also want you to vote to determine who was the most influential person in Trinidad and Tobago over the last 50 years. Text to the same number 2623. Every night we unveil one of the 50 most influential personalities from the year of our independence, 1962 right up to present day 2012. Well, just ahead on the CNC3 news, we introduce you to a Diego Martin triplet who were born on August 31st, 1962. Minister Jack Warner distances himself from a billboard showing images of him and the Prime Minister on a flag, and later we speak to a politician of the 1962 independence era. These stories and more when we come back.
Through the sound of steel pan, voices lifted in song, and the magic of the artist's brushstroke, she showed us that music and art could heal and lift the soul of a nation. First Citizens honors Dr. Pat Bishop. Happy 50th Independence. In 1924, he began making beverages to be sold in traditional horse carts. He took a little drink called Red Spot and created a beverage empire which now refreshes the world. First Citizens celebrates Sheikh Mohammed Jalil of SM Jalil. Happy 50th Independence.
With all the reasons you already have to celebrate this independence, Richmond Motors has just added one more. Bring out the champagne, because now you can drive home with your very own BMW X1 or BMW 5 Series with no down payment and a whopping 6 years to repay. Plus, your BMW purchase comes with 2 years free full comprehensive insurance and 2 years warranty or unlimited mileage, whichever comes first. Now that's a real cause to celebrate. Offer valid while stocks last. Special conditions apply.
As we continue, National Security Minister Jack Warner is distancing the government from images of a billboard which show him and Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar on a national flag. He says it was put up there by a private citizen, but a request has been made for it to be taken down due to the negative comments it has generated. Chester Zambrano has more.
The images of Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar and the National Security Minister Jack Warner on a billboard painted in the national colors has sparked outrage by some, and it now has prompted Minister Warner to clear the air. The minister says the information was sent to him by email from advisor to the Prime Minister, Gary Griffith.
The billboard with national flag painted and the photos superimposed on it is in no way the work of the government.
However, the minister confirmed receipt of the email on Tuesday night, but was not surprised when pictures of the billboard ended up on the front page of a daily newspaper on Wednesday.
At least, no blame can be ascribed to Jack Warner for this one. LOL.
He said even though the state has no authority over the billboard, the owner has been asked to take it down, and this will be done. Minister Warner also addressed issues surrounding the clashing of independence celebrations with the PNM and the government, making it clear the government has no ill intentions.
If the mayor wishes not to take part in the function at the Woodford Square tomorrow, that is his right. But we will not subscribe to the fact, nor will we say that we in any way have sought to divide this country in terms of the independence celebrations.
For CNC3, I am Chester Zambrano.
Well, the General Secretary of the PNM, Ashton Ford, he is saying that the Planning Minister, Dr. Bo Tiwari, is wrong for accusing the party of disunity. The accusation followed the clashing of independence celebrations to be held on Thursday night by the PNM and the government. Speaking with reporters at Balizé House today, Mr. Ford said that the claims by Dr. Tiwari could not be further from the truth, as the PNM made its plans first.
PNM as a party, since 1956 to now, will never be part of any disunity in this country. We were the party in office when the country gained independence. We are proud of our legacy. The development of Trinidad and Tobago came under PNM, the People's National Movement. There is nothing you can point to in this country, Trinidad and Tobago, that the PNM was not responsible for in terms of development. So for him to make these statements, it is purely inaccurate, mischievous, and misleading.
He believes that the government has no moral authority to speak on the matter.
They did not attend the National Independence Day parade at the Savannah when they were in opposition. They never attended the National Awards function when they were in opposition. So they don't have the moral authority to talk about disunity and respect for the nation.
To some other news now, the Ministry of Food Production is looking towards Central and South America to get cheaper grain in light of the hike in grain and wheat prices. We have more from Otto Carrington.
The international price of grain has increased and threats of a looming food crisis is on hand. And this increase is not isolated to Trinidad and Tobago, as farmers and stakeholders in the agriculture sector are already feeling the pinch. Speaking to members of the media on Wednesday, Minister of Food Production, Devon Maharaj, says TNT is looking at sourcing grain at cheaper prices, and the government is now focused on looking at Central and South American markets.
We are seeking alternative suppliers from outside of the traditional markets to try and obtain feedstock at more competitive prices.
The Food Production Minister says his ministry also plans to avoid the crisis by allocating 1,000 acres of land for corn. Meantime, Minister Maharaj says the Food Production Ministry is proposing a site in Carlsonfield to set up a predial larceny ranger unit. He says farmers have far too long been victims of predial larceny.
Have identified will be one of the base of operations for the predial larceny ranger squad to really deal with the very vexing problem of predial larceny, which the agricultural community has found to be intolerable.
The minister attended his ministry's 50th independence celebrations. For CNC3, I am Otto Carrington.
On tonight's Positive Vibes, we take a look at a musical company that gives underprivileged children a chance to be part of a reputable musical company's production. An NGO founded by Josanne Romani was created to give back to children. So far, the company has targeted children from all ages, and on Sunday, to celebrate Trinidad and Tobago's 50 years of independence, the company will host a musical at the Port of Spain City Hall. They have also partnered with children from another NGO, Kids in Need of Direction, also known as KIND. Let's take a look.
Tonight's Positive Vibes segment is brought to you by Nescafe.
We chose children because, for one, there are many big companies, production companies, who want experienced people. And we just want interested, committed children who they're willing, but because the big production companies won't have them for whatever reason, we invite them. So we try to get children off the street.
Saturday we would be having a concert actually. It's entitled The Greatest Love of All. We would have children from KIND, Kids in Need of Direction. We've invited them to be part. Also, part of the money funds that we raise will also go towards that institute. It's practically geared towards raising funds towards our upcoming musical.
Tonight's Positive Vibes segment was brought to you by Nescafe.
Well, it's time now for What You Saw, where we highlight the photos and the video you send us. The address news@cnc3.co.tt. We begin with this picture from a member of staff of this gaping hole in the pavement on the Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna, just meters away from the Tunapuna Market and the major shopping center. Our staff member says it's been there for a while and believes it poses a serious threat. We lighten things up with this next picture from Ria, who says it's a rare sight. Sir Garfield Sobers signing his own picture on the eastern end of the Queen's Park Oval on Sunday during the 20 for 20 for 50 cricket. Anthony and his mother Mary sent us these next set of pictures, saying that these are some pictures of when the Queen's face was on TNT currency. They also sent pictures of pennies from 1940, 1941 and 1961. Anthony says in celebration of TNT's Golden Jubilee, he wanted to share with the younger generation like himself where we have come from. And finally, Natasha sent us these next pictures of work done by CPEP team Royal Champ of St. Joseph. Natasha says it really adds some vibrancy to the area and is a job well done by the team. And you know, Charlene, one of the video editors was asking me whether that currency is still currency, whether it can be spent. I'm not accurate, I'm not 100% sure, but as far as I know, I don't think it was ever retired. Currency don't retire as such. So I believe it may still be a kind of legal tender in Trinidad and Tobago. So, but it's not something you'd want to give away, do you?
No, I would love to get my hands on one of those. Certainly
Absolutely.
A collector's item. Well, at least tonight's What You Saw was a little better than last night's. Last night's was just absolutely depressing. And I think, I don't know, that picture of the dog and the man that killed the dog, I'm hoping that's not real. So if anybody has more information, I'd like to know, because it was so disturbing. And I have one to share with you quickly. I saw one of a homeless person on the side of the road reading a gentleman's quarterly, GQ magazine. He was all sprawled off, comfortable, cocked up with his legs in the air, reading a GQ magazine. Take a picture of that in your mind. All right, Samson, thank you very much. Let me remind you of tonight's Your Vote question at this time. The question we're asking you to vote on tonight is, do you agree that the acting commissioner acted responsibly in the Colin Partap controversy? Remember, you're texting your response to the number 2623. If your response is yes, you're texting the letter Y, and if it's no, the letter N. We'll give you an update on the voting after the sportscast and the final vote at the very end tonight. Well, here's what you can look forward to after the break in our sports coverage. Time for the Paralympians to shine in London. Olympic 4x400 bronze medalist Ade Allen Ford to join Olympics caravan. The West Indies favoured for T20 World Cup glory. End of an innings as England captain Andrew Strauss calls time on his career, and Pro League clubs go for broke in CONCACAF Champions League.
Teacher, businessman, sports executive and politician, Austin Jack Warner is Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of National Security. He contested the general elections in 2007 as a candidate for the United National Congress and won the Chaguanas West seat by a landslide, and served as an opposition member of parliament until 2010 when he was re-elected and appointed Minister of Works and Transport in the government of the People's Partnership. Known for his candor and energetic approach, Jack has earned the reputation of being a man of action who gets the job done. He has also been a very successful businessman in real estate. Jack Warner has been involved in local and international football for the greater part of his life. He founded the Professional Football League in Trinidad and Tobago. From 1983, he was a member of the World Football Association FIFA and became its vice president in 1997. He was the first Caribbean national to serve on a FIFA executive. He had been president of CONCACAF from 1990. He resigned both offices in 2011.
The 50 most influential personalities since independence. We want your view via text on Facebook and online at 50tt.guardian.co.tt.
You're talking to your best friend when
you're going to clean their family.
You get cash back.
Yeah, darling.
You're talking to your best friend when you realize you're always a winner. You're talking to your best friend when you get a makeover. You suddenly feel like dancing. Every dog gets its day. You have your cake and eat it too. Nightfall. You're talking to your best friend. Whatever else happens, always get extraordinary value with Digicel. Get $1 cash back for every paid minute on local Digi-to-Digi calls made during the day, so you can talk more at night. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
Studying for a degree, MBA or MSc at the School of Accounting and Management will change your future generation. We teach over 140 different modules that will make you a game-changing success, confident, innovative, inspiring, versatile, and globally employable. Register now at the School of Accounting and Management or visit our website www.samteacher.com or see us always on the front inside cover of your TSC directory. Programs offered are exclusive to us and unmatched in this region.
Feel the rhythm with Casey Candy Sweet Pan. This selected package filled with delightful Casey candies. Experience this sweet mint sensation for generations. Our souvenir of Trinidad and Tobago. So take home a Sweet Pan today. Casey Candy, we do make every moment sweeter. Call 636-2360 to place your orders now.
Get to the head of the class with Shelton Back to School Shoes. The most durable back to school shoes in TNT with real leather uppers and stitch outsoles from just $164.99. Plus, get 1 pair of socks free with every pair purchased. Shelton, available exclusively at Detour.
It's gonna be a great day. Got my ginseng up, hey. Let's focus, people. Come on and get it sorted. Get more out of your day. Get things done efficiently. Let's go with it. Come on and just drink it, people. Drink it up now. Drink it up now. Ginseng up now. Ginseng up now. Oh.
Enjoy the new look and send great taste today. Ginseng up, the roots of all power.
Ooh, can't concentrate. Can you pause it? I need to go to the bathroom.
No worries, go. Let's see what he has recorded here. Street Dogs, 101 Dalmatians, Scooby-Doo. Sex and the City. Done. Man, you got a nice letterbox. What letterbox? My letterbox?
With DirecTV Plus, it's possible to record all your favorite shows and movies for just $239 a month. You can replay, pause, and rewind all your favorite shows, plus record more than 100 hours of television. Call us now at 672-8111. With DirecTV, everything is possible.
I think as an artist, it's important to know who you are and what you're for. It's always good to come back home, come back to base, to my roots. If we are a dot, let's be the most creative, passionate, energetic dot they've ever seen. I for that. It's just that amazing simplicity that I love about Trinidad that continues to inspire me. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting I4TANDT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
The 14th Summer Paralympic Games officially opened in the City of London this afternoon with a mega spectacle of lights and entertainment. Though the torch relay was delayed, it didn't stop the show from going on as a backup torch was used. Jassy Marique walks us through it all.
Out with the Olympics and in with the Paralympics, a multi-sport event designed for the best disabled athletes in the world to compete against each other. But before the battles begin on Thursday, athletes and fans enjoyed a 3-hour spectacle of dance, drama and song this afternoon. The Athletes Parade featured a record 4,200 athletes from 164 national Paralympic committees, including Chantal Ince and Carlos Green from Trinidad and Tobago. TNT's pair will be on show early on in the games as Ince will begin her campaign as early as Friday morning as she competes in the heats of the women's 100-meter backstroke event. She will return to the pool next Tuesday for the women's 400-meter freestyle, then enter her final event on Thursday in Heat 1 of the women's 100-meter butterfly. Shot putter Carlos Green will launch his discus on Sunday and then compete in the men's shot put on Monday. Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jassy Marique.
As Trinidad and Tobago draws nearer to celebrating that milestone 50th year of independence, the wave of patriotism continues, particularly that generated by this country's Olympians in London recently. Since then, led by javelin gold medalist, several of the athletes have been around the country meeting citizens as well as performing other acts of charity. Well, this whirlwind of activity comes to an end tomorrow with a parade from East Trinidad to the capital.
Reminiscent of the classic calypso from Calypsonian Trinidad Rio entitled The Traveling Man, Kishon Walcott and company have been everywhere. Okay, well, perhaps not to all of those places, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they have done quite a deal of traveling. Diego Martin, Pinal, Cuba and Tobago, just to name a few places. Tomorrow, though, comes the grand finale for the athletes and their travels as they start off in Aruca from 12:30 p.m. and head west along the eastern main road to Port of Spain before finishing at Woodford Square. While athletes like Walcott, Jessane Phillip, sailor Andrew Lewis, Michelle Liai, George Bovell, Lalonde Gordon and many others have all taken part at some point in the many caravans. 5 more athletes have returned home for tomorrow's last lap. They include Ade Allen Fort, bronze medal winner in the 4x400 meters, women's sprinters Sparkle McKnight, Simoy Hackett and Kai Selvon, as well as Rondell Cirillo, who competed in the 100, 200 and 4x100 meter relays. The Honorable Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar will also take part in the event, while the Minister of Works has declared the priority bus route open to public use between the hours of 12 noon and 7 p.m. for tomorrow only. Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jassi Marik.
The event will culminate with a fireworks display of a barge within the vicinity of the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Last weekend's 2020 for 50 Cricket Festival has been described as a resounding success. Patrons and organisers alike expressing their satisfaction with the event. But the 3-day extravaganza was anything but delightful for some residents of Woodbrook and St. Clair, particularly those living nearest to the Oval, who say that they had to endure the overbearing noise levels and other nuisances.
The spectacle of witnessing Brian Charles Lara in full flight once more, the joy of seeing Trinidad and Tobago yet again defeat the Jamaicans in a competitive fixture to commemorate our 50th anniversary of independence. But for residents of neighbouring St. Clair, they simply could not share in this euphoria.
The Oval Committee is very inconsiderate and are not considering the residents around whenever they are allowing people to use their premises for fetes, for events, party events. The noise level at the Oval is exceedingly loud. I have spoken to one of the members of the Oval Committee, and he advised that this Friday I should move out of my home because there's going to be a Ministry of National Security event at the Oval starting from 5:30 p.m. He did not even say, well, I'm going to help with the noise level. And he said there's going to be a lot of activity there and a lot of fireworks.
Lee Kong and other neighbouring residents explained that for them, this is nothing new, but this weekend was particularly unbearable, as it is not often that events are held and sound systems set up on the western side of the facility, as was the case this time around. Neville Aliang, who lives on Havelock Street, or just in the Oval as he puts it, was another frustrated resident.
I've been in song for the longest while, so I have an idea about song. But they don't care anything about anybody. They talk about decibels. You go to the EMA, you don't speak to the boss man at all, like he is Jesus. My whole house shaking is an old house. What decibels are to do with my wall coming down on me? When you think of the Oval there and they're playing bass, I don't know, the bass vibrating the whole house.
But in this area, there are very few residential properties remaining, as businesses have outnumbered them. However, they are prepared to do whatever it takes to have this matter finally resolved.
My next option is to gather everybody together and go on parade around the Oval whenever they're having anything and have placards, do another Kubla Singh something, to go to court, to meet with the EMA, to meet with the Oval members. But we need to have hordes of people because they're not taking on just us. And I mean, it's a few of us on these streets, huh? It's just us.
Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jassi Marik.
The West Indies will be the main threat at the 2020 World Cup. This is the view of former Indian captain Sourav Ganguly. The former Indian batsman picked out the key players that will make an impact, stating they are the powerhouse. Guys like Chris Gayle, Pollard, Dwayne Smith, Andre Russell, and they got Sunil Narine. He can be a match winner. The West Indies are listed in Group B with Australia and Ireland and will kickstart their campaign against the Aussies on September 22nd in Colombo. Meanwhile, the West Indies women will begin their campaign to become World T20 champions in September. The team is skippered by TNT's Marissa Aguilera, who along with 5 Trinidad and Tobago players will leave tomorrow for Barbados, where they will meet up with the rest of the squad, which departs for Sri Lanka via England on Friday. The 5 Trinidad and Tobago players making the trip are Aguilera, Anisa Mohammed, Stacey Ann King, Brittany Cooper and Deandra Doughton. Andrew Strauss today stepped down as England's Test captain and retired from all professional cricket. The announcement brought an end to a colourful 10-year career in which Strauss took the England team to the summit of Test cricket. In his reign as skipper, Strauss led in 50 matches, won 24, lost 11 and drew 15.
Andrew Strauss said he was quitting all forms of the international game. In recent weeks, he'd been forced to deal with Kevin Peterson, who admitted sending critical text messages about Strauss, but the captain denies that had anything to do with his decision. He said his poor form with the bat was the reason for his departure. Alistair Cook will now leave the team.
In truth, I haven't batted well enough for a long period of time now, and you know, I think for a captain to perform his role properly, it's important that you're not a passenger in the side, but also that people aren't speculating as to whether you should be in the side or not, you know. So I think that would have been a big distraction to the side going forward.
We've got such huge challenges to come as a side that, as I say, India away and 2 Ashes series, that, you know, we have to move on quickly, unfortunately. That's the way of sport goes. And, I know in that dressing room, we'll share a beer for Strauss and we'll remember what he's done an amazing job for this team, and I'm inheriting a side in a very good state, which is a good place to be as a captain.
Trinidad and Tobago's representatives at this season's CONCACAF Champions League are at a crucial stage in the competition. Both W Connection and Caledonia AIA are playing for their survival, attempting to secure progression from the group stage and into knockout rounds. Tonight, W Connection takes on Mexican giants Chivas Guadalajara in Mexico, seeking their first win of the tournament thus far. They managed a 2-2 draw in their opening fixture right here at home to Guatemala's Xelajú at the beginning of August, having led a 2-0 lead at one stage. Tonight's match kicks off at just about 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night, Caledonia AIA will contest Seattle Sounders in their third group match, and that takes place at the Attobolden Stadium in Couva. Seattle defeated Caledonia 3-1 early in the competition before the Mova squad held Hondurans Marathon to a stalemate here at home last week. 6 years on from his heroic stint here in Trinidad and Tobago, former Soca Warriors head coach Leo Benacker has extended well wishes to this country as it approaches its 50th year of independence anniversary date. Benacker took TNTs to its first senior FIFA World Cup tournament, and his 2006 World Cup squad is among a prestigious list of athletes who will be honoured as the top sporting legends at the Hilton Trinidad on Thursday night. The Holland-born mastermind again recognised the tremendous efforts made by the players towards achieving their goal of qualifying for Germany 2006. TNT still holds the record as the smallest ever nation to qualify for a senior FIFA World Cup finals. In a note to TTFF media officer Sean Fuentes, Benacker said, quote, "Congratulations, hello to all the boys for me. It remains a pleasure for me to have worked with them and to have been part of the whole occasion in 2006. Good luck to your country in the future." And we stay with football for Sports High. It's from the second leg of the Spanish Supercopa, Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
Trailing 3-2 from the first leg, Real Madrid took the initiative today with 2 early strikes from Gonzalo Higuain and Cristiano Ronaldo. But just when it seemed that they could overhaul the mighty Barcelona, up stepped Lionel Messi from 35 yards. The little Argentine curled the free kick superbly around the Real Madrid guard and passed Iker Casillas in goal. It couldn't steal the aggregate result away from Madrid, who won on away goals, but it definitely stole tonight's Sports High.
And that's how we come to the end of the Sportscast. Let's go to the Your Vote now, where we get a status report on how the voting is going so far tonight. The question you're voting on is, do you agree that the acting commissioner acted responsibly in the Colin Paratap controversy? So far from the responses, 77% of you have voted in yes, he acted responsibly, while 23% of you believe the acting commissioner of police, Stephen Williams, did not act in a responsible manner in the Colin Paratap controversy. Well, remember, you still have a chance to get your vote in before the end of tonight's newscast. Well, coming up just ahead on the CNC3 News tonight, politicians of the 1962 independence era speak out and shed some light on the life back then. We have all the details coming up. Stay with us.
It's true. It has been proven that coffee is a natural source of antioxidants because it comes from coffee cherries. And like some other fruits, it provides an important amount of antioxidants. I drink several cups a day, and when I do it, I enjoy more than the aroma and the taste I love. Another good reason to drink Nescafe.
Marshall, check this.
I stuck in traffic.
Well, the Wi-Fi sleeps and 4G speed. T-Mobile after these noise.
B-Mobile, TNT's #1 mobile network.
This way they want back. You can depend on friendly service every day. It's really one standard of treating you like you deserve to be. Yeah. Republic is only the best to you. We get personal attention, so explain for your inspection.
Tough on sweat, not on skin. Get powerful 48-hour sweat protection plus quarter moisturizer technology only with Dove Men Plus Care deodorant. Feel the impact of freshness. New Dove Men Plus Care Aqua Impact Deodorant.
On August 31st, the entire nation will pause to reflect and to rejoice on the 50 years of our nation's independence. The history, the trials and the triumphs, the rich tapestry of our culture, the celebrations of our festivals, the accomplishments of our great little nation. Come and be a part of our journey to Jubilee, an evening of reflection and celebration at the Queen's Park Oval on August 31st. This dramatic performance and show features the largest assembly of performers and artists ever to take stage and concludes with spectacular special effects and fireworks displays. In celebration of our nation's 50th anniversary, be there on August 31st at the Queen's Park Oval. Journey to Jubilee. Gates open from 5:30 p.m. Attendance is free.
Modern life can be demanding on your eyes, from outdoor to indoor, professional to sporting activities, to long hours on the computer. LensTech at Ferrera Optical gives you up to $800 off premium lenses with frames to suit your lifestyle needs. Offer ends September 15th, only at Ferrera Optical.
A mysterious knight arrived at a dirty castle with a bottle of Sif cream. Only Sif's millions of microparticles could lift the cauldron's burnt-on dirt and go on cleaning. So the knight was crowned queen. Sif cream, always a beautiful ending.
TNT. Celebrate together where it all started in 1962. Entertainment with Pan, Calypso, Dance, Rapso, Chutney, Soca, Flag-raising reenactment, fireworks, Machel Montano. August 30th, 2012 in Woodford Square. One evening, one great event. Celebrate 50 years of national pride. Meet us in the square. All are invited. See press for details. An invitation from the Ministry of Planning and Sustainable Development on behalf of the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Every stride.
Certainly have a lot happening in weather. Eric, tell us about it.
Certainly, Charlene. 2 tropical storms and an area of disturbed weather out in the Atlantic. First of all, we got Tropical Storm Isaac. Isaac was up to this morning a hurricane, went ashore around the mouth of the Mississippi and the Louisiana area. It's hammering places like New Orleans. Lots and lots of rainfall, very strong gusty winds. Fortunately, only a Category 1 hurricane, nothing near the Category 5 that Katrina developed in and then went ashore as a Category 3. This is a much weaker hurricane than that, but it's dumping huge amounts of rainfall on the area. And the bad thing about it is it's moving very, very slowly, only 5 miles per hour, so it's going to take a while to clear out. And in the meantime, all this rain is falling. The National Hurricane Center is estimating between 7 and 14 inches of rain will fall with isolated amounts of up to 20 inches. So that's going to create a huge amount of fresh water flooding all up in these areas here, added to which you got the storm surge. There's also a very large storm surge. On this side of the storm, where the winds are coming ashore, over here the storm surge is anywhere up to 6 to 12 feet. And that's salt water coming ashore. So you got a mix of the two different things. There have been reports of at least one levee overtopping. That is outside of the main area of New Orleans, though. But still, a lot of damage being done there. I've seen pictures of flooding up to rooftop height and stuff like that in that area. So this is quite a big system going ashore, and it is testing the newly built levees within New Orleans and so on, and so far they seem to be holding up fairly well. Now, closer to home, we got Tropical Storm Kirk up in the northeast there. Very small storm, struggling to keep things going. Has been strengthening over the last couple of hours, though, but it will not affect us down in the eastern Caribbean at all. That's going to go up into the Atlantic. And out in the Atlantic to the east of us, we have an area of disturbed weather that has a 60% chance of development tonight, so it does look as if that's going to be the next tropical storm. If it is, it'll be named Leslie. Now, forecasts indicating at this point in time that because of a weakness in the high-pressure ridge up here, this system, rather than come westward, is going to curve away from the eastern Caribbean. But it's still out to the east of us, so we'll keep an eye on it, just in case it takes a little bit more westward track than is being forecast at this point in time. And as you know, sometimes things like that can happen. The wind's going to be light over the next couple of days, 8 to 12 knots, gusting to around 18, and out of a mostly easterly direction. The seas are forecast to be 1 to 1.5 meters with a 7 to 8 second interval between the swells. They're out of an east to east southeasterly direction. The Gulf of Paris should remain below 1 meter. Trinidad tonight's going to be mostly fair chance of a shower. Tonight's will be 24 degrees. Tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny conditions at first, but as the day progresses, we're going to get, with that daytime heating, forecasting 34 degrees for tomorrow. So a lot of heat rising off of the surface of the island, and we're going to get those heavy showers like we had up in the Tacarigua area this afternoon, cause some street flooding and so on. So look out for that in the afternoon, and also the chance of a thunderstorm. Tobago tonight, generally fair, low of 25. Tobago tomorrow, mostly sunny, chance of a shower and a high of 31. The sun's going to rise at 5:56 a.m. and sets at 6:16 p.m. The first high tide for Port of Spain will be at 2:50 a.m. and for Scarborough 2:37. First low tide 9:12 a.m. for Port of Spain and 9:03 for Scarborough. And that's my weather report for now. We'll have a look at the travelers' forecast and we'll take a short break, and when we come back, Charlie and I have some more news here.
You're talking to your best friend when
You're going to clean their family.
you get cash back.
Yeah, darling.
You're talking to your best friend when you realize you're always a winner. You're talking to your best friend when you get a makeover. You suddenly feel like dancing. Every dog gets its day. You have your cake and eat it too. Night falls. You're talking to your best friend. Whatever else happens, always get extraordinary value with Digicel. Get $1 cash back for every paid minute on local Digi-to-Digi calls made during the day, so you can talk more at night. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
Welcome to NGC. Happy 50th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy 50th birthday, Sharon.
Happy anniversary, Trinidad and Tobago.
Happy 50th anniversary, Trinidad and Tobago. Happy 50th anniversary, Trinidad and
It's a mission. This is our vision. Making it happen. We're making a difference. Here and now, across the land. Trinidad and Tobago. Open your eyes, realize there's so much waiting for you.
Republic Bank Limited, in collaboration with TNT Blind Welfare Association, present Vision Caravan from May to September 2012 throughout rural Trinidad and Tobago. Come have your eyes tested and experience a new vision. See press for details.
Open your eyes, become aware, make use of what's here for you. Be part of the vision now.
In celebration of Republic Bank's 175th anniversary, Vision Caravan.
Heading back out to work after a great vacation? Catwalk's got you covered. Take 60% off our entire career department. All jackets, pants, skirts, blouses, and suits are all on sale. Take 60% off accessories too. Sale now on in all Catwalk stores.
Reduce the sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors, drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby, yummy.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy, drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduce the sugar chubby, keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby, yummy.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way. With all the reasons you already have to celebrate this independence, Richmond Motors has just added one more. Bring out the champagne, because now you can drive home with your very own BMW X1 or BMW 5 Series with no down payment and a whopping 6 years to repay. Plus, your BMW purchase comes with 2 years free full comprehensive insurance and 2 years warranty or unlimited mileage, whichever comes first. Now that's a real cause to celebrate. Offer valid while stocks last. Special conditions apply.
Welcome back. The Nicholas triplet of Diego Martin Main Road have one thing in common with Trinidad and Tobago. Unlike many other Trinbagonians, they both share the same birthday, Independence Day, August 31st. However, while they share similar views about the country, their expectations are different. We have more from Samuel McKnight.
While thousands of Trinbagonians are looking forward to August 31st to celebrate this country's Jubilee Independence celebrations, the Nicholas triplet of Diego Martin, David, Portia, and Tekla, renamed by their godfathers Discipline, Production, and Tolerance, will be celebrating their historic birthdays. Not only are the Nicholas triplets also celebrating their 50th birthdays on the nation's 50th anniversary, but they have the distinction of being the only triplets born on August 31st, 1962. Tekla, also called Tolerance, the eldest of the triplets, says it's a dream come true for them.
Living to reach 50 and the three of us, you understand, we have ups and downs and things, but thank God the three of us are alive to reach 50 and the 50-year independence is the greatest thing.
The self-employed mother of two, who has traveled extensively, in 2 sentences was able to capture her feelings, fears, and aspirations.
I hope that the government could do something, or the people could do something about the crime, but Trinidad, best place in the world.
But her sister Portia, also called Production, says things are different for her this year.
I want to get a work on that corporation who are working on that CPEP. And when the contractor lost the contract, I'd be out of work. And nobody don't give me nothing. I had to go and train to help my daughter Shibao.
Their brother David, also called Discipline, was at work at the time of the interview. For CNC3, I am Samuel McKnight.
Happy birthday in advance to the Diego Martin triplets, Discipline, Production, and Tolerance. So we now take a short break. Stay with us.
I think as an artist, it's important to know who you are and what you're for. So it's good to come back home, come back to base, to my roots. If we are a dot, let's be the most creative, passionate, energetic dot they've ever seen. I for that. It's just that amazing simplicity that I love about Trinidad that continues to inspire me. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting I4TANDT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
Completed dreams bring a lifetime of happiness. Lifetime Solutions can make it all real. With windows, doors, and roofing styles, you can choose your design. Just tell us your budget and we'll find the right fit. We are innovation ahead of the game. So affordable, Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us. Lifetime Solutions. Lifetime Solutions. You can trust your roof to us.
This Independence Day is special. So at Subway for the whole month of August, the treat's on us. That's right. When you buy any foot-long Subway sandwich during August, we will give you a treat free. Choose from any of our decadent offerings. Cookies, muffins, brownies, even Soldanza chips. So stop by any of our 42 Subway stores for your next footlong and let us treat you. Happy Independence Day. Subway, eat fresh.
Footballer Stern John is Trinidad and Tobago's most prolific forward, who currently plays for Solihull Moors. John made his international debut for the national team, the Soca Warriors, in 1995 against Finland in a friendly match at the Queen's Park Oval. John is currently the Soca Warriors' all-time leading goal scorer. His illustrious international footballing career began in the USA, playing for Columbus Crew in Ohio and New Orleans Riverboat Gamblers before his acquisition by Nottingham Forest.
3 seconds to play!
He remains a legend at Birmingham City and Coventry City for his brilliant goal-scoring ability. John has also scored for Southampton and Crystal Palace. Stern John is acclaimed as having the most goals scored in international football by a TNT player, ranking him 5th by country on the top International Association Football goal scorers list. Stern John, football legend, Trinidad and Tobago's legacy in sport.
Pride in our liberty. Over the last 50 years, we've built a platform for progress and prosperity. We've done it through boundless faith and confidence in the future. Now, more than ever, we are ready to shine, and we dare every citizen to take on this challenge. During the next 50 years, choose your sphere and influence it. The world is waiting. Trinidad and Tobago, dare to shine, celebrating 50 years of pride in our liberty.
Here's what you'll enjoy when you visit the new Roopnarine showroom, corner Front Street and Wrightson Road, Port of Spain. Quality, unique design and selection in kitchen cabinets, bathrooms, closets, doors, tiles and patio furniture. The Roopnarine showroom. Call us today, 624-7667.
TNT. Celebrate together, where it all started in 1962. Entertainment with Pan, Calypso, Dance, Rapso, Chutney, Soca, Flag-raising reenactment, Fireworks, Machel Montano. August 30th, 2012 in Woodford Square. One evening, one great event. Celebrate 50 years of national pride. Meet us in the square. All are invited. See press for details. An invitation from the Ministry of Planning and Sustainable Development on behalf of the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Welcome back. Independence Day 1962 meant different things to different people, even the politicians who were part of the historic moment.
The first responsibility that devolves upon you is the protection and promotion of your democracy.
To friends and family, he is known as Chacha. To the wider public, he is known as Kamaluddin Mohammed, one of the few surviving government ministers who was part of that historic day on August 31st, 1962, when Trinidad and Tobago signed the Declaration of Independence from England in the presence of Princess Anne. But contrary to the views expressed by many, the 85-year-old Chacha says the day was significant to a few back then.
It was nothing different to what it is now. Nothing. It's just that some people who were interested in politics were interested to know what will happen. The flag will be raised, they will pull down the other flag, and so on. But the general population were not very mindful of those events in those days.
Mohammed, who served in several ministries during his tenure, was one of 13 members of government who made up the cabinet of the day. As to the expectations of the populace for that period, he said they were few, but the challenge was money.
From that point of view, we have achieved a lot constitutionally.